Hi, this is Chris with Destination Art. I'm back painting again and making YouTube videos. It's been a while. My skills are a little rusty in YouTube, voiceovers, and editing. Forgive me. Anyway, okay, so I've decided to paint this daylily. I'll show you the picture. And the first thing I did was decide to, let me put this in here a little bit more. I decided to draw it because I would like to get better at art. And this is the process I think I'm gonna go through to try to get better at art. So I took a cool travel photo, which was the daylily. I'm sketching it and shading it because I think that helps me to identify where value changes are, some of the structure of the structure of what I'm trying to paint, which in this case is this flower. And then I'm also going to decide how to paint it. So I got familiar with the subject by drawing it first, which with this pencil is of course in a monochromatic way. And so this is my plan that I came up with for painting. So I'm going to do a base color. So I'm going to paint the whole flower with the bright yellow, and I'm going to let that dry. Next, then I'm going to do kind of a hard edge, soft edge, finding the shadows process, which I hope to demonstrate to you in just a second. That's going to help me determine the form and decide where the shadows are, which will also help me when I start pushing the values later. Next, I'm going to add the first wash of the red orange. It's going to be a little bit lighter. I'm going to put it on the ends of the petals, which you'll see in a second. Let that dry. Then I'm going to add the darkest red orange, and I'm going to use sort of, I should have set up here, I'm going to use a glazing technique for the form and shadow and also for the first wash of the red orange. And then with the darkest, I'm probably going to use a little bit of a glazing technique, but probably more of a dry brush technique. Then I'm going to add fine lines and details also with kind of a dry brush technique. And then I'm going to finish, maybe paint the stem and the leaves. So that is my plan. Starting the painting now, and I will paint the whole flower with a yellow underpainting. This image, I am going to start with trying to find some shadows in here. So I'm going to mix up just very little, very light yellow orange to try to find some shadows. So here I just made a hard edge, and I'm going to try to come in and try to soften one side. So I have a hard edge on one side and a soft edge on the other side. The way I see that, there's a couple of spots on this top petal that also does that. There's a little bit of that structure over here, and actually this one right here, which I've drawn, but now I need to actually take advantage of paint and see if I can. So now I'm going to do the first wash of red orange, and I'm going to be glazing, and I'm going to pay close attention to where there's lighter areas, and I'm going to try to keep them lighter. So this is going to be glazing, and this is a very useful technique. I am now going to, my next thing, I am going to work on these very dark red orange markings on each of the petals. And I'm going to watch my water on my brush. So I would like to do more of a dry brushing technique with this one. I don't have a lot of blending. I just want some lines in here that are connected. Okay, I think I need to push the colors a little bit more, but before I do that, I would like to do a little bit of the details with the lines on the petals. So for that, I'm going to use my script brush. Loading a script brush is important. You want to have as much of a point as you can. And I'm going to just place it down. I'm wiggling to get more natural looking lines because that's what I see in I'm liking that. All right, next I would like to push some of the interior parts of the flower back in, and if I look at it closely, there's a yellow green in there. So I have some space on my palette here with some yellow, and now I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to grab this lime green and see what kind of color I can make. And that's pretty good. I'm going to try that. It might not be dark enough. Once again, I want to control the water and not remove all the paint, so I'm going to touch it there. And then we're going to test it out, and it is not dark enough. It's probably pretty close, but it's not dark. So I'm going to go in with a little darker green. And I would like it, this is very bright, so I'm going to go with this muted green and see if that helps. And then add in some more of the orange too. I like that. I think it gives it a little more depth. I might push that just a little bit farther. Right there. Nope, didn't work. There's always a balance between how much paint and how much water, so I'm still gonna take I want to push that value right there because that is where I want the depth, right there and right there, I think. So I might go all the way even to this green. Taking some artistic license here. And I might even push that farther. Okay. When I look at this now, I'm liking it. I would like the reds and the oranges to be pushed a little bit farther, a little bit brighter. I'll let this dry for a minute and then think about it. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to make this a little bit more vibrant in petals. And I'm gonna start with a glaze of the back. Oops, but I need to leave the white spot. Leave the white spot. Leave your lights. It's okay. The stamen is going to get a darker, I think, shadow. I'm gonna go the whole thing. All right. Just gonna glaze a little bit of this darker orange on top of this. So since I'm not scrubbing and I'm very light glaze, I am not disturbing some of the details I already put in there. Some of the veins might, what am I trying to say? Some of the veins might blur a little bit because I'm going over there, but my paint isn't that wet. So yeah, see that one, it was wet. Oops. So, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. Oh, that was nice. I like that one. Okay. I'm trying to go with the contour of the petal. So if there are any brush strokes, it sort of like adds to the Ooh, I think I like how that turned out a little bit. All right, so I did lose a little bit of this shadow, but that's fine. This one needs a little, okay. All right, I did lose a little bit of that, but it's all right. Okay, oh, no. It's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. I'm gonna make this little spot right here. I'm gonna use this green color, and I'm gonna start sort of here, because that should be, if you look here, it's a little bit of a green, and it's in shadow, so I'm going to use a little bit of a mixture of the green and the orange just to get that little spot under there. It would be nice if I could make a drop shadow in there, but I'm going to wait for it to dry to do that. Oh, I'm so sorry, I've done it again. Okay, bye. I think I'm going to do one more push of the reds. Let me test this one out first. Just want a little bit more vibrancy with the reds. Okay, that's pretty good. Ooh, actually, looking here, this one goes deeper. So I'm going to go ahead and make it go deeper. Okay. Next, I'm going to work on the stamen again, and I'm going to use a little more intense color of red, but different from the one I just used, I think. I already have some green colors. The stem is not really very visible in my painting, so I am going to start, I've got the too wet. I'm going to start with sort of a brighter green, because why not? The leaf does show on here. Oopsies. Now this one I am not going to let dry like I did the other ones, because I do want some mixtures for this. So I am going to take a little, I used that bright green, and now I'm going to use an olive green. And I don't mind blending. In fact, blending would be great here. This is already dried, which is fine. See, now this one is lifting up the color underneath, which I don't like, but things happen. Okay, that green that I picked is darker, but it was too vibrant, so that's why I mixed it with the orange to get it to tone down a little. Oh, that green, this green lifts very easily. I don't like it. It's all right. All right. Let's see. How do we feel about that color? I like it. Okay, so this I've got. And there we go. All right, very nice. No, I'm so sorry, I hit it again. All right, now I'm going to mix up kind of a shade color, or a shadow color, I'm so sorry. And this is, you get to choose your shadow colors. Do I want an orangey shadow color or a green shadow color? This is sort of a maroon, I think I just mixed up. So. And then finally, I would like to do stamens. There's a spot on the stamen. I want that to be my darkest. In fact, almost use a pen for that. All right. Okay, now that darkness I just made with the stamen, I'm going to cheat. And that super dark brown I just made, I'm going to put it in just a couple of spots. I want it darker. Oops. Boy. I'm softening that edge right there, and I'm softening the edge just a little bit right there. These pigments are very movable on this paper. I'm not sure. I mean, it's good if you got to correct mistakes, but not good if you're. Let's try to correct that mistake. Anyway, take advantage of that. Okay, so this is my water lily from traveling to an herbal medicine workshop. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, let me know. I will talk to you soon. Thanks.